Next up, DC Edwards is a writer, an Afrofuturist, and a pop culture junkie. Her first novel, Bright City, debuted just this year, April 2017. DC Edwards has a somewhat healthy obsession with Lego minifigs. Any character that has powers. She can't choose between DC and Marvel in the Assassin's Creed video game series. Now, her favorite one being Black Flag. DC participates in the, make sure I get this right, the hashtag 8Sunday Weekend Writing Warriors Challenge, where you have to write a story or an excerpt of something you're working on in 8 to 10 sentences. Check her out at dcedwardswrites.com. She lives in St. Paul with her partner and their 2 weird cats. Put your hands together for DC Edwards.
Switch on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Technology. So thank you for letting me come out and read. Thank you, Conrad, for reaching out to me. Brianna Lawrence is like my all-time favorite person in the world, so I appreciate her kind of, asking me to, kind of nominating me for this or whatever. Her new book is out, so look for it. It's amazing. So I'm going to read from my book, Bright City, and my main character, Abigail, has gotten herself in a bit of a jam. Her best friend was accused of treason, and so she sort of got in the middle of it, and now she's also been accused of treason, and now she's being exiled. So I'm reading from chapter 7, which is the beginning of her exile. All right. I've been counting the days on the road away from the colony from a tiny cell on a large dark bus trekking through the outlands. The cells are sealed most of the day. We use the toilet twice. We have room to stand up and there's a padded bench to sit and sleep. I've counted 4 days. 4 days ago I was vice-regent of the Drexton Kingdom. I lived in Colony 1. I've never been this far away from the colony. My longest tracking mission was 2 days at the most. Our instructors teach us that diseases, sewage, and waste contaminate the outer lands. Through a small window, as we bump across dented and rarely used roads, I see this was a lie. The landscape is rugged, but some places are lush, filled with long grass and wild herds of buffalo. We pass houses and storefronts, nearly swallowed by twisting ivy and vegetation, humanity's creations devoured by nature. The outlanders which pass by our bus are not deformed or ill. Some are stout, windburned and sunburned, but look healthy. Instinctively, I long for my kit to take samples. I've had time to think about the evidence presented from the mediation chamber. I turned my father's attitude over and over in my head. Why wouldn't he listen to my side? Why listen to Warren instead of me? It's true that they are like family, like Catherine and me, but I doubted Catherine when she needed me. I think about the red disc, the information on it. I looked guilty. Catherine and the guys looked guilty. I can't prove it, but I think Warren is behind this, and why he wanted me exiled is a mystery. I'm certain if he was behind this and he used Catherine to get to me, but why get rid of me? Why steal the sitting regent's child from him, his friend? And even if my father's intentions were to protect the kingdom, why wouldn't he have put me in re-education to find out more? Why exile me immediately? Suddenly the bus jerks to a stop. I wipe the tears from my eyes and look out of the tiny gated window. I see green mossy fields bumping up against burned out brick and steel buildings. I hear muffled noises beyond my cell door. 5 minutes later, there's a dull pop. After 10 minutes, a retribution soldier opens my cell door and slides a black hood over my face. I stumble between the 2 bulky retribution soldiers. My legs seize and ache from inactivity. I feel a knife slice through the binding on my wrist. I blink against the flash of light, whooshing into my eyes when the hood is snatched off. I rub my eyes to get them to focus. "You probably don't want to move any further," says one of the soldiers. I take my hands from my eyes. I stumble away from the edge of a large crater. "Why are we here?" I ask. "The end of the road, Vice Regent," says the other soldier. "Where are the other exiles and which direction should I go?" "You'll find the exiles in the pit." I'm confused. I don't see any tents or signs of life, just mounds of gravel here and there. Then I look closer and see a peak of gray from beneath clumps of reddish-colored mud. I follow it up to the brown arm it barely covers. I see Catherine's face, contorted, eternally caught in mid-fear. I realize then that exile means murder. Scattered in the basin are decaying bodies, human bodies. Heat fills my chest as tears burn the corners of my eyes. I collapse to my knees, perilously close to the side of the ditch. Sobs heave from my throat. I can barely breathe. My best friend murdered over lies. I hear the familiar click of a 9mm. I pull myself off my knees. If I'm going to die, I'll do it standing up. Any last words? Chuckles one of the soldiers. I shake my head, then silence. From an early age, we train in combat techniques. Knowing that the end of the world was coming, the Prophet combined education with military training. Everyone had to learn the basics. Trackers spend days or weeks in the outlands. Sometimes we interact with hostile outlanders. So we train with the retribution soldiers. They apparently forgot that fact. I drop to the ground. I catch the soldiers off guard and kick the nearest soldier's legs out from under him. I hear his gun explode. The other soldier, blonde hair peeking out from under his cap, drops his weapon. Blood trickles between his fingers as he grips his bicep. I punch the closest soldier between his legs and snatch his gun before it hits the ground. I stand up on the lip of the pit and point the weapon in their direction. We have ourselves a standoff, fellas, I say, quoting a favorite Western movie from my contraband DVD collection. We have orders, Vice Regent, one of the soldiers, the bleeding one, says. You're not going to kill me, you know that, right? Nobody said kill you, says the other soldier as he struggles to his feet. You just tried to kill me, asshole. We were just joking, but we do have orders, the bleeding one says. What orders? You are a traitor. We saw your plans at mediation. You also heard me say my father ordered the genetic assassination of children and families. You're a traitor. You say anything to implicate the regent, says the wounded soldier. Yeah, what we saw were plans for the dissidents to destroy the kingdom, the other soldier agrees. Implicate the regent? I am his daughter. I wouldn't lie about my father. I need to find out if what is on that disc is the truth. I'm not a traitor, and neither were the people you killed. So you have two options. You can let me go and tell my father that you did your job, or you can stay here and die. I click the gun. I hear the roar of engines only seconds before a rifle blast explodes the wounded soldier's blonde head. I hit the dirt. The other guard scrambles to the dead man's gun. He crawls towards me, and a band of men encircles us. Their bikes block every escape route except in the pit, and I'm not going in there. I stand with the gun at my side. What do we have here, says a fat man to my left. We were out here searching for some of our people, I lie. You can put the gun down. You're surrounded, the fat man continues. You just killed one of my guards. Why would I put my gun down? We must be mistaken, little lady, because we thought they was trying to kill you, says a grungy boy who looks about my age. Well, you were mistaken. Now we need to get back to the road. This was not the deal, assholes, yells the soldier at my feet. Deal, I ask. Looks like you were going to break the deal, the fat man says, pulling the soldier onto his feet by his neck. The soldier winces as the big man squeezes a bit, then shoves him back. What deal, I demand. Ah, little lady, it's not for me to say, but someone important is looking forward to meet you. Hey man, you killed my comrade, that's going to cost you, the soldier yells. Well then, let me pay my debt. A warm splatter of blood hits my face as the soldier crumbles next to me. A whoop comes from my left. The fat man raises his gun. The band of men surrounds us, laughing and cheer. The band of men surrounding us laughs and cheers. Who brokered this deal, I demand? Where's your clan name? I don't see any tattoos. Who's your leader? They look at each other for a moment, then laugh some more. The group smells so bad, it makes my stomach turn. I look past the furthest man and see that no one seems to have noticed the truck. If I can get to it, I can put some distance between these assholes and me. Why don't we take you to our leader, the fat man chuckles as he moves towards me. His hand clenches my shoulder. I shove my left elbow into his chest, and when he bends over, I bring my elbow under his chin. 3 black teeth spill to the ground. I twist away from him and sprint to the truck. I shoot one of the men in front of me, hitting him in the shoulder, mid-stride. The fat man snatches my legs from under me. I slam him to the ground. The gun flies ahead of me. Now, girlie, let's see if you can get me off you. I thrust my head back. I hear his nose crack. I try to slither from beneath him. I get a few feet and feel him pull me up by my braids. He twists me towards him. His hot breath smells like rotten meat and alcohol. Around us, the men yell, whistle, and clap as the fat man backhands my cheek. He slams me onto the dusty ground. I land on my back. I taste iron at the corner of my mouth. The fat man grabs my arm. Pain shoots down my right side. I reach back and grab a small stone. I clock him in the head. He stumbles back as I scramble backward. He charges me. Blood streams down his bald head. I spit a bloody glob in his face. I try to struggle to my feet. He picks me up and smashes me stomach first to the ground. His large hands rip the back of my pants. I feel the chilling wind against my lower back. I'll teach you to spit on me, you little bitch, the fat man growls. At this moment, I hear my heart thump. The cat calls and whooping fade against the thwack of an unfurling zipper. The man's rough hands scrape across my exposed butt. He yells to the men to hold my legs. I try desperately to squirm away. Thump, thump. Hands release my legs. I scramble the last few inches to the gun. A large boot steps on it. A scream breaks the silence, and I realize I'm the one screaming. Okay, assholes, our leader is gonna wanna meet this young lady, a husky voice shouts above the men. The sound of the cycles whirring to life splits the air. I feel the cold breath of someone near my ear. It's okay, you're safe. Against my will, I pass out.
This is Bright City. It's been out for about 6 months.
Yes, it's April.
Yeah. How's it been doing?
Pretty good, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You go to cons and conferences?
So my friend Brianna, she's kind of been taking my book around, and then I've been doing readings around the city too. So
Great.
Yeah.
Where can we see next?
Oh, that's a good question. I have no idea. My partner, PR person, is over there, so maybe she'll know. If you come up and talk to us, maybe she'll tell you. I don't know.
All right, we've got folks here at the table to come up and sign. Thank you very much, DC Edwards.
Thank you.